The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. Have you ever woken up with the feeling that the weight of the world is already waiting for you the moment you open your eyes? Have you felt in your very first breath of the day that quiet unrest? Something needs to change, but you don't even know where to begin? Maybe you're waking up tired, not in your body, but in your soul. What if I told you there are words capable of reorganizing your inner chaos in the first hours of the day? Reflections that are not motivational fluff nor unrealistic advice, but timeless truths, raw and liberating, that have survived centuries, wars and empires, and still live today, ready to guide your mind while the world sleeps. This video isn't just another morning pep talk. It's a personal letter to your highest self, a call to lucidity, a reminder that life doesn't begin when you get out of bed, but when you awaken from within. In the next few moments, you'll hear 10 Stoic reflections, not tips, mirrors, fragments of a philosophy that has endured the collapse of civilizations because it speaks to something essential in us, the desire to live with clarity, strength, and direction. You'll see how these simple yet powerful ideas can cut through confusion, realign your mind, and prepare you to face anything with stillness and resolve. But listen carefully. Among these 10 reflections, there is one that holds both poison and cure. It will be revealed in the penultimate insight, and if you truly absorb it, it may change the way you deal with frustration, loss, and uncertainty forever. So if you're here, choose to stay. Not out of curiosity, but out of commitment to something far deeper than just another video. Your own transformation. In the next minutes, you will begin a Stoic journey. But it won't be loud, it won't be performative, it will be like a brick falling quietly inside of you, and the foundation of something stronger rising in its place. Before we begin, comment below this phrase. Today I choose not to react, but to respond with wisdom. That's your silent commitment ritual, a small gesture that unites you with thousands of seekers like you, people who don't just want to survive the day, but move through it with presence. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Not for me, but for those who still need to. Hear what you're about to receive. Every like, every comment, every subscription is a signal to the algorithm that there is still space in this world for content that awakens, rather than numbs. Here, you're not just part of a channel. You're part of a silent legion of men and women who want to think better so they can live better. Many call these letters a form of philosophical self-care. I go further. They are small Stoic sanctuaries in a distracted world. Spaces where your mind finds refuge, not escape. And remember, the penultimate reflection in this video holds a rare insight, so counterintuitive it might make you uncomfortable at first. But if you have the courage to face it, it could unlock something that's been stuck inside you for years. So prepare yourself, breathe deeply. Because what comes next is not advice, these are truths. And truths, when spoken at the right moment, don't just inform, they transform. In the very first hours of the morning, even before the world begins, to demand your attention, there's a moment of silence that most people ignore. A moment that decides whether you will live the day with intention or simply be dragged by it. The Stoics understood something that modern science now tries to prove. The thoughts you start your day with shape how you see, feel, and act for the rest of the day. They're like the first strokes on a blank canvas. They set the tone for everything that follows. Marcus Aurelius would begin each day by silently reflecting on the kind of people he would encounter, the ungrateful, the arrogant, the rude. But he didn't do this to protect himself. He did it to prepare, to remind himself that those behaviors were not his responsibility, that he alone had the power to choose how to respond. Maybe you wake up each day and dive straight into the Noise, phone, social media, stress, comparisons. Like a man who opens the door of his house and walks straight into battle without even putting on his armor. You wake up and chaos meets you. But what if it were the other way around? What if instead of being the first to be struck, you were the first to position yourself? The first Stoic reflection you must hear every morning is this: you don't need to control the world. You only need to control yourself before the world tries to control you. Think of it like a fortress. Your mind is the castle. When you wake up and let everything in, messages, notifications, outside noise, you're opening the gates without any inspection. But when you wake up and consciously choose your first thoughts, you're closing the gates and placing your guards. Add attention. The next insight might dismantle an illusion you've carried for years, but first, reflect. How many days were ruined by something small? A rude message, a delay, a look you misinterpreted. It wasn't the event that wounded you, it was the unstable soil of your unprepared mind that allowed it to strike so deeply. A Stoic does not try to control others. He trains the soil of his own mind before facing them. Here's the metaphor: the mind is like a garden. The early light of morning waters either the right seeds or lets weeds take over. What are you planting in those first moments of consciousness? A thought of scarcity, of doubt, of shame? Or are you rising like a silent warrior who, instead of rushing, grounds himself? Who breathes instead of shouting, who observes instead of reacting? If you understand what comes next, you'll be able to handle criticism without ever losing your peace. When you wake up and say to yourself, "Today I won't be a prisoner to what comes from outside. Today, I'll be the master of what rises within me," you are establishing territory. You begin your day as a philosopher, not as an emotional slave. That's why most people are already defeated before breakfast, because they rise already, surrendered. But you're here, and that already sets you apart. You chose to reflect before acting, to breathe before reacting, to question before accepting. Now here is your Stoic practice for this reflection. Mental garden practice. Tomorrow morning, before touching your phone, sit for 3 minutes and write down a single Stoic phrase on paper, or repeat it silently. Example: I do not control what happens, but I control how I respond. Keep that paper visible all day. Let it be your anchor. You're training something few people ever master: the right to begin your day with consciousness instead of anxiety. Get ready now. The next reflection may reveal why you've been sabotaging yourself before you even leave the house. There's a silent myth running through modern life, that life is only meaningful when something big happens. The problem is, almost none of your days will be big. Most will be made of routine, simple tasks, ordinary people, and repetition. And here lies the trap. If you only find meaning in the extraordinary, you'll live with quiet contempt for 90% of your existence. The Stoics thought differently. They knew that greatness isn't found in circumstances, it's found in how you live through even the smallest moments. Seneca wrote that we should never wait for the right occasion to practice virtue, because the right occasion is now. Traffic, dishes, fatigue, a passive-aggressive comment. All of these are sacred grounds to forge an unshakable spirit. You don't need a stage, you need presence. What if I told you that your real strength doesn't show in moments of glory, but in the small, silent choices no one sees? This next insight changed the way I understand failure. Imagine your life as a staircase. Each step is a gesture. Washing the dishes patiently, listening to someone attentively, waking up when you said you would. The staircase of excellence is built with invisible steps, not applause. But what do we do today? We rush through the now. We want to skip steps. We run as if the road under our feet isn't already the very life we seek. Here's your metaphor. Virtue is like an invisible muscle. You don't see when it grows, but one day it's what holds you up when everything else collapses. That's the point. You want to be strong when everything falls apart. Then practice strength when nothing demands it. You want to be wise in crisis? Then train your mind in calmness before chaos arrives. You want freedom? Then take a stand now, in the small discomforts, in the quiet moments, in the urge to complain. The next lesson will explain why people live emotionally drained, even when doing nothing. The biggest mistake modern man makes is not rushing, it's despising the ordinary. But the Stoics invite you to reverence the present like a temple, to make common life the very arena where greatness is built. So before trying to change your whole life, change your way of looking at it. See the details, correct your speech, breathe with awareness, choose your words, say less, observe more. And here is your Stoic practice for this reflection. Invisible gesture ritual. Choose one small, everyday action, like sweeping, doing dishes, or tidying a space, and perform it with total attention as if it were the only thing that existed. When you're done, say nothing. Just feel the lightness of having done something simple with silent excellence. Repeat once a day, every day. You'll see that slowly, your outer world will begin to shift, because your inner one has risen. Now prepare. The next reflection will confront you with a truth you've likely avoided for years.